I had enjoyed a wonderful week in the beautiful North Pennines, but later today I would be returning home. Before doing so, however, I made my way to another of the Durham Dales, this time Weardale, starting in the village of St John's Chapel. Now a quiet backwater lying on the A689, St John's Chapel was once a busy town, an important centre of lead mining and quarrying in Upper Weardale. The Georgian church, on the site of the original medieval chapel, and Victorian Town Hall are evidence of its former heyday. Today, the Town Hall hosts a fortnightly cinema. The village also has a food store, post office and gift shop, 2 pubs, and the Chatterbox Cafe. Good morning. It's Friday the 8th of September 2023 and today is my last day in the North Pennines. However, I've got time to do one more walk before I go home. So today I find myself in St John's Chapel, which is in Weardale. From the marketplace I walked along Burn Foot, turning left beside a horse trough and crossing a narrow bridge over a burn. I turned right and went through a gate to cross a field. So I am now crossing over the River Wear. Lovely. After crossing the footbridge, known as Ponder Lane Bridge, I kept ahead to continue alongside a wall, making for some stone steps at the far end of the field. This is a nice short walk to finish, as this is my last day and I'm going to be travelling home afterwards. I thought a short walk would be a good one to end on, so I think it's about 4, possibly 4.5 miles, so not too bad. Crossing another field, I reached a lane and crossed over to the hand gate beside the gated track to High Fairhills. Where the track curved to the right, I went over a narrow stile on the left, climbing across fields to reach steps onto a lane. Oh, flippin' heck, that was tough. But I hope, that was the only climb I've got to do on this walk today. My way now was to follow the lane, known as Side Head, to where it ends. I could now enjoy the fine views across Upper Weardale. lovely views of a Weardale. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, well, before I leave the North Pennines later today, I'd like to give a shout out to Duncan Baxter. Hi Duncan. Now, early last year, that was when I started doing some research online for the North Pennines. And one of the obvious things for me to do at the time was to look on YouTube and see if anybody had done any videos of the North Pennines. And there were quite a few sort of results that came up, but it was mainly Duncan Baxter that came up in the YouTube results. He's got a great channel. He's done loads of videos in the North Pennines, lots of walks, and I've watched all his videos now, I think. Yeah, he's got a great channel. One of the things I like about Duncan is he's interesting to watch. He's got a wonderful local accent, and the way he does his narration is brilliant. So I'll just talk about Duncan's channel now. So these are the notes on Duncan's YouTube channel. A person with a passion for hiking and photography, travelling around my local area and beyond, showing rare places to a wider world. Follow my travels of hiking and photography around some of the lesser known areas of the United Kingdom, such as the North Pennines, the East Durham coast and some remote parts of Scotland, where solitude and being the only one around is found in abundance. On one of his videos that I commented on recently, I asked Duncan if he actually composed the music for his videos, and he replied to me and he said, "Yes, I do." He said, "I compose each piece specifically for the area visited in the video, hence why the same music is used in more than one video if I revisit somewhere. I always thought for somewhere as unique as the North Pennines, why not make the music unique as well? So far I have composed over 2.5 hours of music for the channel, and I like to think that it adds something a little different to my videos." I would definitely agree with that, Duncan. Your music does add a lot to your videos. So yeah, Duncan does great narration in his films, and he always ends each film by saying, "I hope you've enjoyed it, whether you have enjoyed the scenery, the views, or even just the journey itself. Do not forget, everything you've watched, everything you've seen, this is nature." Duncan Baxter, a great YouTube channel. Please check it out. In the 19th century, this area was famous for its quarries and lead mines. So I'm guessing over there, that's some of the remains of those quarries and mines. I was now at the end of the lane, where I turned right through a gate beside a barn. Just before I reached one of the gates back there, a car pulled up in front of it, and a man got out and he opened the gate. So, after he'd opened the gate, I said to him, "Oh, I'm coming that way myself. Can I close the gate behind you?" And he just said, "No, I'll close the gate, thank you." Oh, okay. So, I walked through whilst the gate was open, then I just stopped and watched him as he drove through, got out of his car again, and closed the gate behind him. And I just thought, flipping heck, you know, I thought I was trying to be helpful by saving you having to get out of the car again to close the gate behind you. There you go. People are funny. You know what they say, there's naught as funny as folk. Okay. So, heading back down into Weardale itself now then. Beyond the house, I walked down some marshy pasture and carried on downhill. The sunken track fell to a gate into a farmyard, through which I passed to Walker Walled Lane to the A689 in Westgate. Westgate is a small village in Weardale, with a church, village hall and a pub, the Hare and Hounds. The pub brews its own beer and serves evening meals. So this is Westgate, and behind me is the local microbrewery pub, my kind of pub. However, I've got to go this way. I'm going to sort of head back towards St John's Chapel. And now, I think for the remainder of today's walk, I shall be following the Weardale Way. And I'm crossing back over the River Wear again. Lovely. Okay, on we go then. Having crossed the river again, I turned right at a signpost for the Weardale Way. I passed in front of cottages and went through a kissing gate into a meadow. So yeah, it's been a lovely few days here in the North Pennines. I should be sorry to leave later today, really. But, yeah, it's not a million miles away, so as I said with other places, I can always come back another time. But no, Middleton and Teesdale's been a great base from which to explore the area for the week. And the B&B has been lovely, Brunswick House, run by Andrew, who was a very friendly host. I'm sure I read that he's been running that B&B for about 30 years or more. But I did see on the wall, in the hallway as you enter the B&B, that he's won several awards over the years, so I'm not surprised really. Yeah, it's a nice place, nice comfortable double room I had, ensuite, and the breakfasts were to die for. Very nice breakfast. The full English breakfast was lovely. There were a couple of days where I had scrambled egg with smoked salmon for a change, but the other 3 days I had the full English breakfast. Brilliant. And after eating that, you don't need to eat for the rest of the day. Eventually, the Weardale Way took me closer to the riverside. That's nice. I'm actually walking beside the River Wear now. Lovely. Crossing the A689 again at Dadry Shield, I dropped down some steps as the Weardale Way continued to follow the riverside. Approaching St John's Chapel, the path reached a footbridge and ford through the weir, where I would be following the lane back into the village. I'm arriving back at St John's Chapel now, so that means that's the end of today's walk. How beautiful it was today as well. Another beautiful walk in the beautiful North Pennines. Yeah, Weardale. Lovely. Yeah, so that also means that's all of my walks completed this week here in the North Pennines. That's my holiday over. Yeah, been planning it for ages. Had to cancel it last year because I moved house in the end. You know, and rebooked it for this week this year, and now it's come and gone. Time flies. But yeah, it's been lovely. It's a really beautiful part of the UK, and I can't believe it's taken me that long to visit the North Pennines. So yeah, I'll be back. So for now, it's goodbye North Pennines. It's been wonderful.